Ms. Steffes is here for sentencing. Is there anything that you'd like to say on her behalf?
Yes, Judge, we're asking the court to consider sentence under the minimum guidelines or credit for time served. She hopes to get released as soon as possible, get out so she can be with her family. She has lifelong family ties in Hesperia and in the community. She wants to get out and get back to work, Judge, so that help support her family. She has 3 children.
All right, and Steffes, do you have any additions, corrections, or challenges?
No, yeah.
Anything that you want the court to consider?
Yes, sir.
You said, it's up to you.
I know that my last name is no good. Like, you make it clear that you don't like my last name every time I see you, but
Why do you say that?
every time I see you, make a comment about my last name. In the county, you said that my last name's no good in that county, and here you said Steffes is from the county. I'm very familiar. I don't think that's fair that you put me with them. I'm a lot different than the other Steffes, but I know it doesn't look like that, but I got in trouble one time 6.5 years ago, and I've not been in trouble since. I was with somebody who was committing a crime, and I was not with him when he checked out, when I found out that he was stealing. We got into a fight, and if you watch the videos, which I don't think you did, but if you did, you would clearly see that I was crying on the video, and I ended up leaving the store. I have a job right now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have it when I get out. I've had a job for a few years now, and I've done great ever since I got in trouble 6.5 years ago. I'd like you to take that in consideration, please. I've lost my home since I've been here, and I don't wanna lose anything else.
All right, so I'm confused, Ms. Steffes. You said that you were in trouble 6.5 years ago, but I see the conviction for driving license suspended 2021. I see larceny $1,000 more or less than $20,000, malicious destruction of property $1,000 more or less than $20,000. That was pled to larceny $1,000 or more. That was in 2021. Retail fraud in the second degree, 2022. And then I see this offense in 2025. So explain to me how you haven't been in any trouble in the last 6.5 years.
Okay, sorry, 6 years were the 2 other, the fraud or the larceny charge or retail fraud, 2022. I don't know what that is. I've never been charged for retail fraud here in this county, never. Not once.
Mr. Zera?
Your Honor, I'll look at her green. So I have a PSI from 2022,
Correct.
and that was for larceny $1,000 or more, but less than 20,000.
The offense date was allegedly August 7, 2022. You got a PR bond, failure to appear for plea and sentencing, October 12, 2022, when the best report was issued. It's listed her as being on probation at the time of the retail fraud in the second degree.
If that were the case, then wouldn't I have a felon warrant for a failure to appear? If somebody doesn't go to court, they get a warrant for failure to appear, right? It's sitting here, you guys sitting here telling me that I had court that I missed and I never went to, but I don't have no warrants for it.
Also says that you pled on December 12, 2024. So initially failed to appear. It says that you were sentenced.
I came here for a booking fee, Your Honor. It was in front of Judge Drake and he dismissed it.
What were you booked for?
Well, for retail fraud.
Okay.
But, and again, okay. Your Honor, I'm sorry. It looks bad because same situation. I was with the same guy and well, he was stealing from Walmart. Like, he stole a canoe.
Okay, so something about that.
That's why we ended up getting into a fight about it in the store. When I realized that he was stealing, I ended up leaving the store. Well, after we got into a fight about it.
Anything else that you want to say, man?
No, sir.
Anything that you want the court to consider?
We just ask the court to comply with terms of the plea agreement.
What we can do, Ms. Steffes, it sounds like you're really saying that you're not guilty of this offense. Like you didn't know that he was stealing and was all surprised and shocked to you.
I was gonna take it to trial, but I'm not gonna take a chance on going to prison.
Okay.
Especially, and honestly, if you want the truth, the reason why is because of my last name. Because every time I see you, make a point to say something about my family. And I got scared and I won't take it to trial because of that reason. I just want to get this over with, Your Honor, please.
I don't want to sentence somebody who thinks that they're not guilty.
Would you please sentence me? I didn't want another felony on my record. I'm trying so hard to pull my crap together.
What you're telling me is inconsistent with what the report says that somebody observed on video. And what the report says is that you and were going through the store together, selecting items. And then it specifically says that they went to the lawn and garden department where the pair could be observed as they removed security devices and concealed devices under a pallet of merchandise. Was in the secluded area. Steffes could clearly be observed as she opened the top of the cereal box and looked inside the box. Then pointed to the security camera and then exited the aisle.
Your Honor, I remember exactly that moment. I was bending over looking at something and I remember looking up and it doesn't matter, Your Honor. I remember looking up and seeing that the box was open. And I walked over and I opened it up and I seen what you guys were doing. And that's when we got into a fight. And that's when we had to leave the aisle because we got into a fight. And then we moved on to different aisles and we're in the Christmas department and we were arguing about it still. I ended up crying and I was walking away and I got into the phone with my kids and I was walking back and forth talking to my children on the phone. And then I ended up, I don't remember everything clearly, it was a while ago, but I ended up leaving the store. I just want to get out and not lose my job and be able to pull my crap together. I know you're not going to give me time served, but I beg you to not give me the recommendations either.
Right, consistent with the plea agreement in this case, it'd be the sentence in court. This defendant served 7 months in county jail. I'll give her credit for the 108 days that she's already served. There is restitution that's going to be joint with in the amount of $1,498.22. The court is going to place you on probation for 2 years, electronic monitoring for Heather. Ms. Steffes, regardless of your last name, you have been treated fairly. And if you violate your probation, as you've done in the past, you are then looking at prison. The first thing that you need to do is stop all the nonsense, quit lying to yourself, quit trying to lie to the court, and own what you did and own the decisions that you made. If you can do that, then you can start to change your life. If you don't do that, you're going to say, Judge Springsteen wasn't fair, the lawyer wouldn't fight for me, the security people lied, I got tricked, I got duped or whatever, but you need to own your decisions. And I don't think that you're going to do that. I think you're going to be back again.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
You do have the right to make application for you to appeal your conviction sentence.
Thank you, sir.